It's The Vibe with Tanya Rad and EJ, and we are super, super stoked. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, we're doing something that we've never done before on The Vibe. We have a very fun contest. We are giving you guys access to the one, the only Madison beer, ladies and gentlemen, and she's here with us today.
Thank you. Wow. Quite the introduction.
Well, we're super excited because you're going to be doing like a virtual meet and greet, and you're going to be performing 2 of your songs. One of them is going to be Baby, which I love, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And so fans can, they can actually head to iHeartRadio.com/thevibe. You can enter there to come to our event, but I'm super, super stoked.
Thank you. Me too.
How important is this for you to connect with your fans?
Very important. I mean, it's obviously always important, but I think specifically in this time where everyone feels extra alone, I think it's really important that, I still try to connect with them, even though I can't see them in person. Sadly, I really still try to, make time for them online.
Is it going to be, so I said that you were going to be performing Baby, and I know that you had a hand, or like a very creative hand in the music video for that. Mm-hmm. What was kind of your vision for that? Like, what did you want to tell in that story?
Yeah, I mean, Baby was very specific. I mean, we kind of just wanted it to be something that was like focused on female empowerment, and it just felt like a very powerful music video, and that was like our main goal. And I didn't really want it to be too much of a story. A lot of my other videos were like very storyline based, and so this one I really just wanted it to be like, oozing female empowerment. That was the whole goal of the video.
And was it like, did you have were you very, very hands-on in terms of that? Like, were you kind of like, because as an artist, you know what I mean? Like, that is your vision. And I think sometimes
I'm totally always involved, like with all of my videos. I try to be like, really part of the creative process. It's really important to me. So I definitely was really involved with this one too.
How do you go about executing something like that?
It's a very long process. I mean, we started writing this treatment prior to quarantine, so we had a lot of like time to weed whack the stuff that we didn't feel like was necessary out of it. But I mean, yeah, I just kind of like blurt out ideas. We write them all down, and then we just narrow it down to what feels the best out of all the ideas. So it's just about building a team, and I feel like I've built a team around me who like can really help me, finalize my ideas, because sometimes I have a lot of ideas that might not be realistic. So I think, I just kind of have built like a really great support system around me to help execute my vision properly.
Absolutely.
And then how do you go about, so we're doing this contest, and it's going to be, a virtual hang and meet and greet, and fans can ask you questions, and you're going to be performing. How is it different kind of getting ready for something like that we're doing via Zoom, obviously right now because of quarantine, versus something, back in the day when we used to do it in real life?
I mean, obviously there's not as much like prep or rehearsals and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, I still like, prep myself, and I still owe the fans like, the best sound I can provide them, and like, be on and like be attentive. And I don't know, I love meeting them and hanging out with them, and anything I could do in this time to like make them feel good and happy, I will happily do. Happy that, we're able to adapt as to this like strange environment. We're able to adapt and figure out ways that we can still connect with one another.
So true.
So let's talk about the new song, Baby. It's fire. Tell us about that.
Thank you. Yeah, we made this song a while ago, so it feels really good to get it out finally. But again, like we just wanted a song that felt good and that made people hopefully feel confident and sexy in any way that it could. And it served that for like all my friends when I first played it for them a year ago. And so I was like, I hope this connects with the public in the same way. And I feel like it has, and I'm just really grateful, and I'm really happy that people are, connecting with this song and feeling good while they listen to it and sing it.
Is that who you take your music to first? Like after you finish something and you're like, okay, I think I got it. Do you play it for your friends first, or like who's in the friends?
Yeah, I play it for like all my homies and like anyone who I feel like has a good creative kind of judgment. Like I just will play it for everyone who I'm close with, basically.
So what happens in a situation and they're like, that ain't it, Chief? Do you actually go back, or you're like, you know what, I'm still gonna put it out?
Not always. Like I don't like, it's not like I don't know. I feel like I've never even actually like played, it's more like which ones are your favorites. No one's ever really been like, I don't like that. People have been more like, I like Selfish rather than this other one you played me. And so I kind of like, it's more like a survey that I take of like which one's the popular one amongst like the 6 I might play. But yeah, none of my friends really have ever been like, I didn't really like that song, because I don't really play them anything that's like rough. I kind of play them like done records.
Mastered.
So yeah, so they've only ever been like, I like option 1 out of all 4 or something like that, you know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I definitely wanted to ask you about this, because we were talking about it earlier on in the show, and I feel like 90% of the time I can really keep like a positive headspace, and I try to like look at the good and things like that. But I've been having a really tough week on social media. Just like words have really been cutting me a little bit harsher than I feel like prior to. And I have a fraction of the following that you do. So I was just wondering, like, how do you stay positive? How do you react to things like that in terms of just like mental health?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's like, I don't really know when like the normalization of like tearing other people down became a thing. So I still have trouble with it to this day. I mean, I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I still to this day get affected by it. And I'm just like, it's not even more that it affects me in the sense of what they're saying about me, because I've said this like publicly before, and I advise my fans the same way, that like, you know, people are always going to kind of like talk bad about you, whether it's to you or it's not. And so as long as you know who you are at the end of the day, and as long as you know like maybe what they're saying is just like not even true, I don't really feel like that should like affect you too much. Obviously, it's not fun checking my phone and seeing people tell me to go kill myself. But again, if I know that I'm a good person at the end of the day, and that if I like have good intentions and that I move in a way that I can like sleep properly at night, I don't really have much to worry about. But my issue is like, since when did this become okay? Like, since when did it become like normal to literally comment on a stranger's post of them like just doing their thing in life to like tear them down? It just makes no sense to me. So that's kind of my main issue, is that it's allowed and not like strictly banned, and that it's like something that, and in my opinion, that's like a deep rooted like self-hatred thing that is showing, because I don't think a happy person is going to do something like that.
Yeah, they always say hurt people. And I feel like what I've been trying to do is really kind of combat that with like changing the energy. So like when I'm feeling something, like when I'm feeling attacked, I'll go above and beyond to like, you know, shout praise to other women in my life, or people that, you know what I mean? Like encourage other people just to like combat the hate and the negativity. Cause it's just like,
yeah, no, good for you. That's a really like healthy way to deal with it, I think. And I would obviously definitely encourage you to keep doing stuff like that. It's just hard, because, you know, I personally, when I read these things, I'm like, what, man? Like, you live once. Like, this is what you're spending your life doing, like ripping on someone you don't even know, and are just judging based off of probably like a false analysis. And I just kind of get bummed out that what bums me is that there's people who like view me in such a wrong light. But I've realized I can't go and pick and choose and change everyone's mind, because even if I was, you know, a cookie cutter perfect, did everything right by the book, there would still be people who, you know, hated on it. So you just kind of got to be you, do you. And if you feel good and you feel like you're not hurting anyone and you're a good person, then like, who cares about these people? You know, that's kind of like my mentality at this point.
And the one thing I always realize is that these people, if they ever see you in person, they would never, ever, 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 ever come to your face and say some junk like that.
Well, that's the thing that's made me feel better, is like I said, I've been like doing this for literally 9 years. I'm going on 10 years of like making music, and I've received, when I say millions, I mean millions of like hate comments, death threats, bullying, making fun of me, people making videos about me. Like I've experienced the most massive amount of hate that you could even imagine. And I have never, not once in the last 9 years, had somebody approach me and say anything of the sorts, ever. Not
Exactly.
one. Maybe I actually could recall one time this girl was like, yeah, I don't really like you. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was like literally the extent of it. But I'm sure online she was like literally telling me to go die. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people just don't, once you're not behind a keyboard anymore, it's not that easy to like talk a bunch of crap. So like, I don't know. Yeah, like I confronted a hater one time. Like I saw a hater who I like recognized by face because she had tweeted me that much, like really vicious stuff. And I went up to her. Like I went up to her and I was like, I don't understand. Like you tweet every single day that you're going to like beat me up when you see me. And now I'm in front of you and you don't even look in my direction. Like what's going on? And then she, you know, of course came up with excuses and started, this was a few years ago too. And this video actually went viral again recently for some reason. And it just was funny because I was like, yeah, like I don't think that that's normal behavior. So I'm going to call it out if I see it. Like if I see you doing this and if I see you in person, I'm going to be like, what's up? Like, why do you do this online? It's not cool. Like what did I ever do to you? You know, like I just don't get it. So I definitely think we got to like, as a community, as human beings, we should definitely just like try to work backwards and like denormalize bullying people. Cause it's weird. Like what, like, bullies people online? I just don't get it. Sorry.
I'm so glad you stepped to her because she probably didn't have anything to say.
Nothing. She tried to say I like did something to one of her friends, and I was like, I don't
even know your friends.
I was like, I was like, I don't even know your friends, and like, it's okay. Just say you hate me for no reason and go, and say that you aren't gonna beat me up in person. Those were just like Twitter fingers. Like I don't care. It's fine. But like
Twitter fingers.
I don't care. It's just like, come on now. Like it just was. I don't know. It was just a whole thing, and it made me sad because I'm like, I get literally tormented daily on the internet, and like you guys don't actually even hate me that much. Clearly, it's like just don't even talk about me if you don't like me. You know, that's my whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel you.
But it is what it is, and my fans are like, they outweigh it every day. So
I was gonna say, focus on the positive, focus on the good, and the people that love and send you encouragement for sure.
Totally.
And focus on watching Rick and Morty.
Well,
speaking of the people that love and support you, if you're listening and you are a Madison Beer fan and you want to join our fun hang, our Zoom meet and greet, questions, performance, make sure you head to iHeartRadio.com/thevibe and we will reach out to you if you guys won your way in. And Madison, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. And I'll see you in our next little meeting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sure. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, guys. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.